In continuation of investigating the corruption that's going on in our court systems, I wanted to make a video to show you what has happened to me personally. As bad as the corruption is in the judicial system, what many people don't understand, that on top of just the corrupt part and not following common law and treating everybody as enemies of the state, there's another layer to this. And I'm going to show you what they've done to me. I was working at Kentucky Community and Technical College System, and my supervisor was Woodrow W. Will. I was called in for jury duty at the end of 2000. And I very willingly served. It's kind of fun to get out of work. Excuse me. So the case I was on, that I ended up being a juror on, was the Michael St. Clair capital kidnapping charge that was in Hardin County. I served for 3 months as a juror, and we convicted him. Later on, this was just 2014, 2015, I discovered that the man that actually was the perpetrator here, Michael St. Clair, was my supervisor at fire rescue training, where I'd been working for 20 years. So I want to show you the pictures of him right here. This is him, Woodrow Will, and I split his face here, and it is absolutely my supervisor, Woodrow Will. Here he is, sitting in the courthouse or wherever they had him. But you don't find a whole lot of pictures of Michael St. Clair. This is a really high-profile case, and there's very few pictures of him. But I got that one there. Now, there was no way that I knew that that was my supervisor. I mean, your mind does not think like this. It just never occurred to me that this was my supervisor. But when I get back to work every day from jury duty, Woody would be there, and he would say, "Well, how'd it go today? Did you hang him yet? Did you hang him yet? Did you hang him yet?" And it got, you're not supposed to talk about the case. So I always had to say, "Leave me alone. I can't talk about it." It got so bad that my husband at the time, Russell Todd, had to have a conversation with him, telling him, "Leave her alone. She cannot talk about this case." So I figured out eventually that what they really wanted to do was hang me. My boss hated me. They wanted to get me and throw me in jail for whatever they could get me on. Make me lose my job or, whatever. I've been working there for a long time. Now, in addition to him being the man that was sentenced, and the case is very high profile. He called himself the $5 million man because he had ripped off the public for $5 million with this fake murder trial. Okay? So, in addition to that, here is his accomplice, Gene Reese. The two of them allegedly, or they did, allegedly, it's all fake, got out of prison and traveled across the country committing crimes. They stopped at a rest area and stole the vehicle of Frank Brady. That was the story. But the accomplice was Dennis Gene Reese, which later I come to find out is this guy right here on death row. But he is the current Elizabethtown Police Department police chief, Chief Schiller. Okay, so these two together, along with the court system, the lawyers, attorneys in Hardin County, judges, we're in on this fake murder trial. Then we have one more little addition to this. This woman right here. She was on she was a juror, along with myself, on this murder trial. But lo and behold, who is she? She is Janet Coleman. Judge Janet Coleman. So you've got a judge sitting in the jury box on a fake murder trial. Okay? What's even worse, that when I was exposing people, corrupt politicians in Florida, and came back to Kentucky because I was being targeted so bad down there, they sent me another juror request, January 5th, 2015. And this is Kelly Mark Easton as the judge. So, they didn't get me for anything in 2001 when I was served on a juror, but they were going to try it again. So they called me in again for jury duty. And I signed the paperwork, but I put under duress. They got the wrong name on here, which, I called them up, said, hey, that's not even me anymore. Doesn't matter. Just send the paperwork back. So I signed it under duress. And then I thought, they are going to get me. If I get on another case and they have me for 3 months going into that courthouse every four days a week or whatever, they're going to poison me. They're going to kill me. They're going to do something to me because I'm talking about all this corruption that is going on with these judges and lawyers and county clerk's office, and all of them are frauds. So I go in for jury duty. And I'm like, I'm not staying here. There ain't no way. And so the judge says, well, if there's anybody out there who thinks they're going to get out of this, they're probably not. But you can come up and give it a try if you want. So I go up there and I tell him, nope, I can't prosecute anybody. I'm not going to do that. I don't believe in it. It's God's place to judge people, and I'm not doing that. And he said, well, you don't have to do that. All you have to do is... if there's enough evidence to convict somebody, you can serve on the grand jury. Like, nope, you don't get it. Not doing it. So he excused me. Got out of that one, thank goodness. But this is part of the corruption that we're looking at. So it's not just that they're breaking the law by not following legal procedures that they're supposed to. They're frauds too. So it's really, really bad. And they should be, if I was these people, I'd be running for the hills. Because this is so bad what's coming out on them. One more little tidbit to this little story. In addition to me being sent a jury summons, the person I was living with at the time, her name was Nancy Wheeler, she got called into jury duty as well. And then I later find out that she's a fraud. Senator Jones is one of the people that she plays. So can you imagine if me and her had both been on jury duty at the same time, what the potential would be for me and her to sit at home and discuss a case, and that she could have hung me for them. Fortunately, I got out of her house really quick. As quick as I could get back into my house, I left hers. So she didn't have an opportunity to do this to me. One more little thing I want to add to this. This is what fake Judge Easton said. He said that what they used to do when they convicted people in a court was they would take a ring, a metal ring, and they would put it in a fire. And they would pick it up with tongs, and they would put it in a pot of water. And
#10 updates available.
And the person who was being tried would have to reach down in that boiling water, or that water, and pick up that ring that is just blazing hot and get it out of there. Now, when they did that, their hand would be burnt, and they'd have a terrible wound on their hand. So the way that they determined if a person was guilty or not, they would come back a week later, and if their wound was healed, they would be excused and they weren't guilty. But if their wound was not healed, they were guilty. And he said, at least now, things are a lot more, not as bad as they were back then when we used to use that form of correction for criminals. And I'm thinking, these people are sick. They are just absolutely sick in their heads. At least when then they didn't own you for the rest of your life and throw you in a box and break your legs and stuff, or maybe they did. But now, you can't beat their system at all. They win every time. If they bring you up on charges, they win every time. You're not going to get out of stuff. It's so corrupt. So anyway, I just want to explain that to people. I've got some CIA or FBI or whatever people watching me, because I posted a video on when do you shoot a cop. And that did a lot for me. They don't understand that. They think I just randomly post stuff like that. But that gets people's attention. I got a lot of attention with that, because nobody wants to see something like that. When do you shoot a cop? No, that's not good. Watch the video. It's not, what you think it is. But it drew a lot of attention to the police officers, and they started watching me and what I was posting. And I want them to see this stuff. This is the kind of stuff that they're doing not only to me, but to other people in this community. They pick and choose who lives and who dies, and that's not right. So thanks for watching.